Hey everybody, so I am doing prompt one, all of my questions. So this is the one that said to choose two standards, and I chose 1NR2, explain the relationship between addition and subtraction, and apply the properties of operations to solve real-life addition and subtraction problems within 20. The substandard is to use a variety of strategies to solve addition and subtraction problems within 20. My second standard would be to demonstrate understanding of spoken words, syllables, and sounds, phonemes, and that was to distinguish long from short vowel sounds in spoken syllable words, orally produce single syllable words by blending sounds, including consonant blends, and isolate and pronounce initial, medial, vowel, and final sounds in spoken single syllable words, and to segment spoken single syllable words into their complete sequence of individual sounds. So, a brief description of what the student should know and what I should know. So, after instruction in math, students should know how to solve addition and subtraction problems using a variety of strategies. Students will understand the importance of addition and subtraction in real life as well. The knowledge the teacher must possess to instruct students successfully is how to best teach students how to solve addition and subtraction with multiple different strategies. After instruction in reading the phonic and phonics, students should know the meaning of spoken words and the sounds and syllables that make up each word. The knowledge the teacher must possess to instruct students successfully is how to break down words and how to do this in a way that engages students. And here's my reference page. And then question 2, it was provide a definition for differentiation and explain the pedagogical importance of differentiation to meet the needs of all learners. So, differentiation is instruction by a teacher to students that fit each level of learning that the students are at. It is challenging each student at their level of learning to further their academic success. According to the Center for Student Achievement Solutions, differentiation instruction is important because it helps to ensure that all students have the opportunity to learn and succeed. By providing students with instruction that is tailored to their unique needs, teachers can help to close the achievement gap and ensure that all students are able to reach their full potential. This means that as their teacher, we have to differentiate so that they are given the opportunity to learn and grow. If we tailor our instruction to their needs, they will get more out of the lesson. So, clarifying my understanding of pedagogical content knowledge. I believe pedagogical content knowledge is how a teacher implements the content standards and the methods they do it by. For instance, the different types of differentiation, whether that be small groups, games, online, or through technology. I believe I demonstrate these in my classroom by how I differentiate my small groups and lessons. I try not to do the same activities every week so that they are intrigued in their learning activities. This helps them be engaged and excited in their learning as well. I group certain students together strategically based on their levels of learning. Sometimes I will pair low learners with high learners to help each other, or sometimes I group them based on the similarities in their levels of learning. There's my works cited for that. Question 3 was to choose two approaches to instruction and provide definitions based on literature of what it looks like in the classroom. So I chose modeling and hands-on learning. I chose modeling because this is a strategy that helps visual learners and gives students examples of what they are learning. According to an article I read, according to Barak Brazenshine, writer of Principles of Instruction, research-based strategies that all teachers should know, students need cognitive support to help them learn to solve problems. It also states that teacher modeling and thinking aloud while demonstrating how to solve a problem are examples of effective cognitive support. So, students will not know your expectations or what to do if you do not model for them. I chose hands on learning because this helps our kinesthetic learners and lets students experience what they are learning and grasp a stronger understanding of the concept. According to an article I read, hands on learning allows students to learn through experience and lets them immerse themselves in a learning environment. Hands on learning also allows students to put their newly acquired skills to use. So, students get to be more in charge of their learning with this strategy. This allows them to practice what they have learned to grasp a better understanding of the concept being taught. These are supported by the best practices in instruction because they both help to make a student's academic career grow and advance. How do I use these approaches to instruction? So using the modeling strategy, I would prepare learning opportunities for students of all levels by demonstrating the task in multiple different ways so that the different types of learners all have a good grasp. I will introduce topics in different ways, such as think alouds and peer teaching. Using the hands-on learning strategy, I would prepare learning opportunities for students of all levels by creating fun activities to go along with our lessons, and so that students can practice what we learned and get experience with it either by using manipulatives or even games. I would have a variety of activities to choose from. What strategies did I utilize for monitoring student learning and managing behaviors? Um, the strategies I utilize for monitoring student learning and managing behaviors while recognizing active learning would be both modeling and hands-on learning. I use modeling to help guide my students in the correct direction of learning, while also seeing if they are actively listening to me during instructional time. If they understand the content after I modeled it, they were actively engaged. I use hands-on learning to help my students practice the content they have learned and grasp a stronger understanding while also using the hands-on learning activities to determine whether the students were behaving and actively listening to the lessons I taught them. If a student does not know how to do the activity that was modeled and they ask a question you already shared the answer to, the student will not be as engaged in the hands-on activity. A strategy I use to help manage behavior would be to reward the students who are doing the right thing to help encourage the students who need some reminders of how to act. At my school, we use Scout tickets to reward students following the classroom and school procedures. So why? I chose these approaches to instruction because I think these are very common in each and every classroom. I also chose these approaches to instruction because I use these approaches the most in my own classroom. These instructional approaches align with different content areas because they can be adapted to all the different areas. I have used them with math and reading the most, but I do believe that would be beneficial for science and social studies and also ELA. And there's my works cited page. Question 4 was all of the evidence. So I will let you watch that later, but these are my modeling strategies during phonics and small group. And then hands-on learning strategies. I use these examples of math that I did with different students. So, areas of strength. I believe, based on my evidence of the strategy hands on learning, that this is a strong teaching aspect of mine. I feel like it is easier for me to create hands on learning for math standards versus reading and phonics standards. I learn better hands on, therefore, I feel it is easier for me to teach this way. Areas of needed improvement. I believe, based on my evidence of the strategy of modeling, that I could work to improve this skill with my students. I know that modeling is very important, especially for younger students, and it was not as easy to provide as much evidence for this strategy as the other. I need to do a better job at modeling concepts in a variety of ways for my students to be as successful as possible. The evidence for the modeling strategy justifies above-level learners and struggling learners because they get to see what is expected of them, and then they try themselves. The phonics lesson on the carpet would benefit higher-level learners because they do this in their head, and they challenge themselves to swap sounds out and make new words. The small group lesson, excuse me, where I modeled how to practice spelling words by sounding out, would help lower-level learners because they could visually see how to put together the letter sounds, and they could practice this multiple times for practice. The evidence for the hands-on learning strategy justifies above-level learners and struggling learners because it allows the above-level learners to challenge themselves and be creative. It also allows the struggling learners to be able to spend more time working on parts they need extra help and practice on. Specifically, the higher level learners could solve the math problem I provided in multiple ways and not just with the mini erasers. The lower level learners would benefit from the counting back strategy because it visually helps them see they are counting backwards. Successive strategies. The evidence I shared demonstrate the success of my chosen strategies by how I have implemented both hands-on learning and modeling in my daily instruction. It shows that I have implemented both strategies in different subject areas. I demonstrated the different subject areas in math and phonics reading instruction. I could implement these strategies more effectively by creating new activities that include them. I could also create lesson plans that are based around these strategies, such as a game, a partner activity, or STEM activities. And that is all I have for prompt 1. Thank you guys.